Okay. Well, I have CyberShakti here in Voxel Living Showroom, and we're going to go upstairs to Diamond Gallery and take a look. The CyberShakti is a NFT glitch artist who was recently featured in Sotheby's here in New York, where I am. So it's a treat to have her. She's natively from India, so it's a treat to have her in Voxel Living Showroom, and also to physically pass by the Sotheby's, which I did last week, and see the glitch exhibit, info. I mean, I didn't see the actual show, but it was cool just, seeing that at Sotheby's. So hopefully they end up being a good thing for Web3. Okay, let's head upstairs. You know how to do it, right? Just press F.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing makeup for this interview. Okay.
All right, so for those who haven't seen, I'm going to pan out a little bit and then I'll come back. I'm just going to fly over the water a little bit so that people can see the whole place. So there's Diamond Gallery on top of Voxel Living Showroom. So that's basically how it looks. But today is not the day for a tour, but I would love to do that at some point. So I'm going to head back to the gallery. And I'm going to meet CyberShakti, and we're going to start our interview. So for those of you who are wondering why I'm dressed up and she's not, it's not chauvinism or anything like that. It's simply... it's wearables. It's just a situation of we have to go shopping, so we're going to do that at some point. And the next time you see CyberShakti, she's going to be cyber shocking. She's going to have some great wearables. And I already showed her a place in CryptoVoxels because there's some very talented wearable makers here. And she's already interested. I think she already picked out some shoes. Anyway, we're here for art, not for fashion right now. So, CyberShakti, where are you? I'm standing in front of your piece, which is called Punk My Sass. And you know what's funny? I never asked you about this piece.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that funny? So here it is. I found this piece in CryptoVoxels. So CryptoVoxels is very important to me, as anyone who knows me knows, because I find a lot of things, including art. I found out about blockchains, artists, and wonderful art. So this is one of the pieces that I got in here, I'll stand over here. Oh, where do you want to stand? Over there? Okay. Hey, you can stand in front of it if you want. So this is one of the pieces I got 2021. And it was just a stunning piece. I think the CyberShakti had an exhibit on one of the islands. I think it was Miami or Vibes. And this was huge. This was as big as a building. And I looked at the price, and it was a very reasonable price. And I obtained it. And now I'm meeting the artist a few years later, which is just great for me. This is just kind of a Web3, like this is how it is in Web3. You're in the metaverse, you learn things, then you meet the real person later, and it's great. Hey, why don't you talk about that piece? So what is Punk My Sass?
It is what it sounds like, I wanted a cheeky sort of name for the art piece. So essentially,
Yes.
this is actually one of my earliest pieces with the iPad that I bought with the money that I earned from NFTs.
Awesome. Which iPad is it? iPad Pro?
This is iPad Air 4.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
It's like a
this
celebration piece.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I can feel
And
that. It like you can feel that through it. I love the colors.
yeah,
And
absolutely. And like this has a layer of glitch art, and then it's just my hand painted stuff that is blended with the glitch art.
so let me ask, is that you in the picture? That's the $1 million question.
Ah,
You don't have to answer.
If Da
It's I
Vinci answered, "Who is Mona Lisa?" would she be that Miss
okay.
today?
I like it. I like. Hey, either way, I'm a proud owner, and I like the mystery. I'm always, I'm a man of mystery. I like that. Um, talk about what always interests me in the piece. I wish I could point. That's the only thing the avatars can't do yet. And we'll speak to Ben Nolan about that. He's the head of CryptoVoxels. Um, so on the face,
Yeah.
it looks like leaves or markings, or it might just be incidental. It might just be how the art turned out. But I was always that always was curious to me, and I wondered what it signified, if it was incidental. I mean, it's not. It doesn't look like travel markings. Like the closest it looks like is maybe leaves, or but it just could be the design. So talk about that a little bit.
So essentially, all the strokes were actually me trying to, do all the strokes in one go without lifting the stylus from the iPad.
Aha!
Yeah, and then I sort of, separated them in different layers so that when I use different blend modes, the same colors turn out to be very different. So
Right.
this was like a visual sort of an experimentation because hey, new iPad, right? And I wanted to go like
Sure.
wild and free, and the leaves could actually also be marijuana leaves. Like one of my friends actually complimented me once very early in life. He said my eyes are like marijuana leaves, which was like a beautiful compliment that somebody gave me. So
That's great. That's great. So one of my favorite parts of the piece are the eyes. So why did you do the eyes in this way? Does that signify anything, or are you just having fun and you like how it looks
so
with the
there
white
is only
eyeballs and the blue
yeah,
skin?
yeah, 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 yeah. So this is actually sort of a sign off to the comment that you made, that human made art, right? So it's like a part of me is human, but the rest of me is submerging in the cyberspace in
Uh huh.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
Oh,
I have a
I
question.
have, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'd like to add a little more about
Sure. Please do.
Punk My Sass. Punk
Yeah.
My Sass is the only piece that I never had to market or never had to shill so much. It just got sold out back to back.
Really. That's great. I can't remember how many editions. How many versions were there?
Three.
Aha! I'm the lucky owner of a one of three. I love it. What I wanted to ask you also is I love the colors on the right side. And one of the things I like about this piece is there's the face and there's the colors. Let's talk about the colored side. That's wonderful. Like look how the purple, streaks blend into that nice green yellow one, and then you have the red and orange. So what motivated that? Was that a style you were experimenting with, or is this like totally off the cuff stuff that you never ever did before?
This was partially like the prototype for the next few set of pieces. So along with Punk My Sass, there is another piece which came like a little later called
Right.
Fashion Police. But Punk My Sass sort of set the template for the next few drops from the series.
Oh,
So
that's
this,
great.
yeah, 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 yeah. And this was just me sort of discovering my style on iPad. So I did have a digital tablet to draw on my laptop with,
Right.
but Procreate was new for me. So I was sort of just just like going all
All out, right?
yeah, just going all out, and sort of blending the rules of how we sort of conventionally make art on these tools, right? I was like, fuck yeah, I need to bring CyberShakti alive.
That's great. That's great. And also with what you were saying about the earthquake, a little bit before we were recording, that spirit, I see that spirit, that uh, willingness to, that fighting spirit, staying committed to the art.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. So, CyberShakti, do you want to talk about that a little bit and just how that molded you as an artist?
Yes, absolutely. Earthquake, when it happens all over the world, we remember it as just headlines, or we remember people that passed away as figures, like XYZ number of people passed away. But when we are
Right,
living through that experience, let me tell you, the survivors don't have it easy either, because
right.
everything you know and everything around you is just demolished, it's to the ground, right? And obviously, like, it's a very traumatic experience just to be in the earthquake, but sort of rebuilding life from scratch. Especially when all your infrastructure is down, you have no home, you have no you have no schools around you, you have nothing. And yeah, that sort of is where I think the genesis of eventually me finding glitch art was born, because glitch art also is the art of taking something broken and making something new out of it, right?
Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
learning that too. Thank you for sharing that because I never asked myself what is glitch art. This is a really special. It's just a deep world, and just don't underestimate and don't listen to what people say. NFTs are a scam. No, they're not. Trash art is a fad. No, it's not. You might have some trash art you don't like, but you should always try to dig deep and find the things like CyberShakti just said about glitch art. Well, that can be said about all of these movements. They all have a reason that they're here.
Yes, yes, yes. So glitch by definition means an error.
Oh, okay.
Glitch in the matrix, we've all heard the saying, right? Glitch means
Right.
an error, and a glitch can show up anywhere. It could be a visual glitch, like your TV screens. Like, I don't know how old you are, but like, us 90s kids will remember when the cable used to be not great, or if it was raining, the TV
Yes.
would be very disturbed and glitchy, right? There were colorful statics on the TV. So that
Right.
that is glitch.
And
And now,
people
so
make
yeah,
art out of that.
yeah, so glitch can be done in two ways. One is analog, where you sort of manipulate the hardware, and the other is digitally, sort of inducing errors through code, through script, through filters, through tools. So really, it's just rehashing given set of pixels into turning it into a beautiful set of new artwork.
Wow. Wow. When would you say the glitch movement in NFTs started?
I think more and more artists sort of started gravitating towards NFTs. In Now, this is not me talking about like glitch art in general, but all the glitch artists that I knew from my circuit. Those guys sort of started joining us in the NFT world towards the end of 2020, and
Okay.
around the time when Tezos was picking up. So around 21, like a lot of my circle, like Donia and who now curated the Sotheby's glitch art exhibition.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think these guys sort of came towards early 21.
Okay.
um yeah, and the beautiful part about glitch art is that we were just talking about how diverse it can be, right? And amazingly, a lot of people think that glitch art is the strobe effect that you see in a lot of work, say like X copies work, right? So the whole idea of the recurated glitch auction was to also, firstly, obviously, to have more representation for women and non-binary artists. But I think the curators also consciously sort of got more and more diverse set of artists practicing glitch art, to show how diverse glitch art itself is, right? Strobe effect is not what the genre is about.
Right.
There's so much more to it.
Right. Who are some glitch artists that you admire?
Honestly, everybody that was sort of part of Glitch Alpha Force has been like a fellow. What do you say? Like, we are a community and we make art and we sort of give each other amazing feedback. So everybody in Glitch Alpha Force was like a great sort of co-pilot, I would say, in the journey.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
well that's
because
nice. Is
yeah,
there anything else you'd like to say about Punk My Sass? Was that exhibited at Sotheby's?
no, this wasn't exhibited at Sotheby's. Sotheby's, we needed to sort of mint a new piece.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But Punk My Sass, interestingly, was also curated in the cyberpunk exhibit by Known Origin. And
Oh,
I think the
great.
curator was Vertical Nicole. She
Okay.
runs the Vertical Crypto Art Residencies. So, yeah, this piece has seen some good exhibits actually. One
Great.
being, yeah, 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 yeah. And
Great.
honestly, like when this piece was minted, I had just lost access to my Twitter, so I there was no way I could market it. But the art somehow, just found great homes on its own, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine seeing this huge, like the size of this building, or maybe close to it? Maybe not as big, but definitely the size of like a three-story building, with other artworks that were of equal uh, size, and just kind of flying up to it and being maybe the size of the eyeball, or maybe a little bit bigger. But I mean, that's the type of stuff that happens in CryptoVoxel. So I'm so used to seeing art in the metaverse, and that's what motivated me to build the gallery, because I wanted to make a nice place for art, and I wanted artists to be happy to have their art being shown in a gallery that obviously had effort and love and passion and respect for the arts, um you know put
Definitely. Like, I
put
love this
put into
space.
it. So
I
yeah.
love this
So
space.
uh, yeah, thank you. None of these, with the exception of this piece here. This is my QQL, when Tyler Hobbs had his QQL thing, which is still ongoing. This was my best output, so I'm proud of it. So I put that up. But that's my only piece. Everything uh, is someone else. So this place would be
Wow.
empty without the hard work of artists like yourself. So let's talk about what were some of the highlights in your artistic career, from when you entered Web3 to getting into Sotheby's uh, glitch exhibit. I think April 26th.
Yes.
Yeah, so like a week ago.
Wow. I think, they're so right when they say that time flies by very quickly in Web3. Like 1 week in Web3 is like a year in IRL standards. So by
Yeah,
that standards, I think I'm like a old veteran here. I but yeah, it's been so good. Like I got to sort of have a voice and a name for myself in NFTs. And when I started out, the circuit was much smaller. There were fewer artists.
right,
Obviously the intra was a lot different. Like there was Rareable, and then there was Super Rare, which was like highly curated, and Rareable was like this open market where everybody was minting anything they pleased.
right.
So yeah, the landscape was much different. And then I was lucky enough to get into some curated marketplaces early on, like Known Origin and Maker's Place. From there on, I think I've been a part of 50 plus exhibits now, which is amazing. I've collaborated with artists globally, which I never thought could have been possible without the help of Web3 or NFTs, right?
It's true.
um, yeah. I want to
What?
ask you about your building experience too, because
Oh,
your
sure. Okay.
these are fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. NFTs were the first kind of financial defense, and that's how I got into NFTs. It wasn't because of the art. It was because of they were a hedge. And so fast
Wow.
forward, I found out about digital land, and I just love the idea of land ownership and the creative things that you could do with it, and that you wouldn't have to worry about inspections and mortgages and all that stuff. You owned it outright, and you could pretty much do whatever you wanted as long as you were respectful to your neighbors, and didn't like build something that bumped into their house. But I mean, the Crypto Voxels is like very cool when it comes to all that stuff. The Crypto Voxels to me was just was a huge uh, crypto education, and it continues to be. So I learned to build gradually, and my first gallery was an inherited gallery. So the guy decided when he sold it to keep it intact, and that benefited me because I got a gallery, and
Wow.
I didn't touch it for months because I liked it, and I changed a few things, but I didn't touch it for months. And then gradually I built my gallery, and it was called Pixelarity. But that's how I started to learn building. It was inspiration is from just what I saw here, because there was a certain style that I saw that was awesome, and I love the voxels. So that's basically my story about that. And then I also collect. So this is just like a little fraction of my art collection, and I collect on many chains. I'll find the NFT, like I'll find the good art. I don't care how obscure the market is, and that's kind of something that I've developed.
Yeah, but you know what you said earlier about NFTs being used as a hedge is a
Yes.
perspective that was new to me. So thank you for introducing me to that.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what's happening. As you can see, part of the NFT market cycle, when the coins start to rise, then the interest in the NFT wanes. The Bitcoin finally broke through to 30,000 uh, after a couple of years. People have been waiting like me. I've been like literally waiting. And imagine if there were no NFTs, I would have been waiting all this time, and it was 60,000 before it came down. So thank God for NFTs, and I think people need to discuss that aspect more, because those of us who remember, that's a lot of the reason for the activity. You know,
Wow.
a lot of us weren't didn't come in because of the art. We were glad we came in because the art is awesome, but we came in for shelter. Looking for financial shelter, and I'll never ever forget that. So I wanted to ask you what is your experience as a female creator in the NFT space? I want to talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's a very very loaded question, actually. To answer it in like black and white, like you said, it's very very difficult. Like, I'm proud to be here as a as a woman, and I obviously sort of appreciate the hard work that goes in by women in general. And this is true not just for, say, NFTs or crypto, right? This is true for a woman across the board.
Yes.
Wherever you go, obviously, there is lesser representation, there are fewer women at the top, so we don't have enough examples, and that sort of and I'll tell you how women are raised, right? Like, I'll talk about myself, right? Like, my mother still wishes that I would go get settled and marry a rich guy. She does not have the
Really?
conviction. Yeah, she wouldn't have, like, she still, to the day where I have actually been auctioned at Sotheby's, have the conviction that her child, her daughter, can be a rich woman on her own. So we grow up with like fewer sort of people believing in how truly we can sort of grow as people. For
Oh,
them,
wow.
settling
Wow.
down is priority number one. And
Yes.
I remember in 20 or 21, I had tweeted out something that went like, um, "Mom, a JPEG is going to secure my financial future. Not a job, not a husband, a JPEG."
That's great.
And that was a tweet, right? And so NFTs have definitely sort of opened up a whole new platform for me, because otherwise, to me, sort of rising the ranks across the conventional art world would not have been this easy, because my art is natively digital, and the real
Right.
world sort of only recently, after NFTs have made so much noise, has sort of started
Yes.
seeing it with so much respect, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, before that,
No. Yeah.
I would send in my portfolio of my glitch art, and like they would not even entertain my entry. Like,
There was
they would
no
say,
respect for digital art. There was the traditional market. had none. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And today, to be recognized as like a legit sort of asset class,
Yes.
I
Well,
think
I
that's
do
a,
want to mention to you. I think you should mint that tweet where you said that uh, my future will be secured by a JPEG. I think that's an iconic tweet, and I think maybe one of your audience uh, will be happy to purchase it. Maybe you make one of 10. But you know, for me, tweets are like cool. They make for cool NFTs because they're so outrageous. Just the idea to mint a tweet is just so. It's just so kind of like. There's just something about it. It's like, yeah, like,
yeah,
right. But I think that would be an interesting piece in your collection. That's just my suggestion. Um,
duly
so
noted. Yeah.
now, let me ask: Were you a part of the digital art scene pre-NFT? Like, for example, DeviantArt.
I was not on DeviantArt, but I was on Glitch Artist Collective, which is a Facebook group. So I've
Okay,
been like a contributing member of that digital art community, and interestingly, it is through my friendships in that circuit that sort of introduced me to NFTs much earlier on than the rest of the world, I guess.
so talk a little bit about that community. How did it get started? Were you the part of the founders?
I wasn't a part of the founders, but I have been like very old in the system, and this community is where I sort of practiced my art and shared my art over the years, and that's where I know Donia, the curator of
Oh,
the
that's
sub.
awesome. That is so
Yeah.
awesome. It's like organic relationships.
Yeah. Like throughout the years, like a lot of amazing glitch artists. There's Jared Scott, there's Sergeant Slaughtermelon, there's Kate the Cursed, there is Ina Vare, then there is Empress Trash, there's Max Capacity. All these wonderful glitch artists that I've met in the community, and it's just so much fun being in NFTs because these guys are also around. You know what I mean? It
Yes.
would have been a very lonely journey without them.
Yes. Yes. It is a communal thing, and it's being facilitated by social media, which is something I want to touch on. I think social media is getting an unnecessarily bad name. Like, for example, there's a documentary. I think it's called The Social Dilemma, and
Yeah.
it has good information, but it's done in a very doom and gloom way. And I have to say, without social media, this meeting, uh, meeting of the minds and great conversation, and we're in a great location, in the metaverse. None of that would be possible because crypto Twitter is a large part of the crypto art life. And I know that a lot of it is moving to Blue Sky, and that's necessary. I think that it's going to stay on crypto Twitter because that's just how things are. Just like people still have MySpace, pages. So Twitter is still going to remain a home for crypto artists, and I think that it doesn't make any sense to just not go there at all. They're gonna have to do the harder thing and have the Blue Sky, and Lens and Twitter, because then they'll get an overview of like what's going on. But just to touch on social media, hey, I understand the whole dopamine thing, using the services as much as possible, regardless of the detrimental effects to our personal relationships. But what's not stressed? Um, we're grown-ups, and we can always turn it off. Yeah, I think that there needs to be a counter narrative that balances out this kind of social media is evil thing that we're getting doused with. I've made great relationships. Like I wouldn't have met you without social media. I wouldn't have met these artists that are very happy that I support their work. They're happy that I have their work in my gallery. Uh, NFT NYC, I met an artist. And this is all because of social media. So it's how we use it. And I just need to say that because I never like when things are lopsided. Like, oh, this is all bad. It's hardly ever true. Just we live in a world where there's good or bad, and I think artists, we deal with the in between so much. Like we explore the nature of man, of like people and the nature of technology and what are the extremes. And so, you know, I just think that maybe the common sense can come from some of us. Or
Yeah.
maybe there should be a day off in the week. You take one day off where there's no phone, no gadgets.
I also am dabbling like a lot on, other Web3 social media platforms, because,
Yes.
again, it's the principle of who owns the data, right? Like, who
Yes.
owns your presence, who owns what content you create out there. It's very important.
Right.
And, like a lot of people who sort of, have made like a decent, what do you say, living on say web 2 will sort of always be defensive about web 2. But like, I would personally like to ask these people, right, like, how much is this platform backing you really, right? Like, if you're making, say, like, there was a statistic, right, like, for 16 million streams, I think a musician earns like $7. um
What I heard is 1 million streams will get you $3,000. That is ridiculous. Anybody that has 1 million streams, to me, you're an aspiring star. Like you're already a star. That's 1 million listens. I mean, you're already on your way. So to get $3,000, that's like slave wages. You know, I loathe Spotify. So anybody who's listening, if you don't know of any Web3 music platforms, there's Audius, there's One of One, there's Catalog. Just look up Web3 music.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, I am sort of just opening my eyes to the potential of Web3 social has for everybody. I'm already on Lens, and, people are already figuring out monetization and, different formats to present your content in using Lens protocol, right?
Hey, I just
And
want to interrupt. Lens Protocol is headed up by Stanny from Aave. So it's deep Web3. And basically everything there is an NFT. Everything. Even your even your handle. If you want to get into Lens and don't want to wait to be invited, just DM Stanny.
yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for that. Absolutely. Like, everything you do as an NFT, if you follow somebody, their NFT is actually dropped in your wallet in your hidden folder, right? So,
Yeah.
in the sense, you actually own your followers with like one single contract. That contract has everybody you follow. So, imagine a place wherein you reach like 1 million subscribers, right?
Yes.
Now, imagine you can actually identify which person followed you at what stage. So
Oh, that's
you,
so awesome.
Lens Post is probably not going to say the name. I'm going to think about the name.
Okay.
Suggestions welcome. But it is a place wherein you can actually ace your social media success, your Web3 social success, by making it easier for you to create content, to create posts, to create posters. Just drag, drop, create everything you need for your Web3 socials.
Right.
Um, and you can use your own NFTs for doing it. So you can actually play around with your NFTs. It's a DIY tool for you to make content using the assets you own. Plus, it's also a place where people like me, like creators like me, can come and list their assets for people to be able to use them.
Wow. Okay. Blue Sky is also the other thing popping. You would have to email Jay Graber is the CEO, and she made her email publicly available, which I took as an invite. But if you send an email, uh, short email, saying that you're fed up with Twitter, she might just send you an invite. That's what happened to me. So anyway, okay. So
Wow.
what's your experience on Blue Sky? How do you like it?
Blue Sky is fun. It's like a very basic sort of interface. You do not have like videos and stuff, but I think that's amazing because now people are actually engaging with the content a lot more. Oh yeah, but But while it doesn't have video or it doesn't have pinning, it has a great feature that I'd like to point out. You can
Yes.
actually turn your handle into your URL. So if you have a domain name, you can actually turn that into your Blue Sky handle. Now that's alpha.
Oh, thank you. Ooh. Hey, restate that again, okay?
Anybody can turn their domain name into their Blue Sky handle. So instead of having at like your username, you can actually use your domain name there. So people can actually search for you using your domain name.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
And
great
then
for
there's
marketing.
federations. I heard is coming out where it's going to be like neighborhoods, almost like Twitters within Twitters, from what I
Wow.
understand. Because Blue Sky is built, the architecture is very different from Twitter. It's just so great. Like in Web3, one of the great things is your mind opens up because it's like there's so many yeses, right? Do you have that feeling? It's like a big yes. It's just like, yes, I can do that. Oh wow, I can do that. It's like you have to curate all of the yeses to get to the ones that make sense because there's so much stuff you can do.
Absolutely. And I am having so much fun, reinventing myself as a content creator as opposed to, being an artist as well. So I sort of talk about my art. I'm actually sort of building videos on how people can actually make great content using all these, free apps that are available. And I'm also building a tool for people on top of Lens, and it'll also be integrated into all other Web3 social medias. So I'm very, very bullish on it to the point where I'm actually invested. It's not just money that you invest, right? Like you invest the peak of your career and you invest good years in a project that you believe in, and
Yes.
projects that will open possibilities for the future to come. And that is actually one of the ways that I plan to give back to people,
Oh,
by
great.
giving them platform, giving them tools. And anybody can actually be a great content creator given the right set of tools to express. So that is what I possibly think
Well,
is
let's
my
talk about
alliance.
that. Let's
Yeah.
let's 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 dive into that a little bit. The idea of giving back.
So actually, I am native to NFTs, right? I've spent about 3 years, and I have seen how the community has stood by each other, and just been there for each other. And I've had people recommend my work when I'm not even present in the conversation, right? So that's what community is, right? That's the
Yes.
power of you talking about other people, right?
Yes.
Because we live in a trustless place, right? But we still need to trust that this project is coming from a good place. So if you talk about somebody's work and
Right.
what they're doing, right? like
Right.
like you mentioned, like a simple act of sort of just writing a small article about them. So
Right.
while the Sotheby's auction was on, I realized like a lot of articles that the mainstream was covering were just like two or three headliners, and then no details about the other artists, right? We were just like marginalized in, like, amongst other artists. That was the text about us.
Oh, that's no good. And I also
Yeah.
heard that I also heard that the cropping was awful.
50% of my artwork at the Sotheby's display was cut off. So
Oh,
it
gee.
was a,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. So I missed out on so much of visibility. But then, hey, I am sitting here in India. What can I do about it, right?
Understood. Right. Right. Sometimes you got to dance with it, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Having said that, I still, had a lot of people check out my work thanks to this. So, I wouldn't like you said, it's not all good or not all bad, right?
Right.
But yeah, so during that time I realized that this was a problem. Not everybody knows about the recurated artists in the lineup. So I started my NFT magazine called House of Shakti, and I wrote an article wherein I collated everybody's lists, right from their social media pages to their marketplace links to their Sotheby's piece. And I made like a single place where you could see one curated artwork of theirs curated by me with all their other links and bio in one place. So that
Wow.
article.
Okay. I have to interject. I have to show you this thing. I did the same exact thing. And
Oh
it's so
wow.
important. Yes, it's right here. If you step over here to the exhibit information, and if you click on it, I'm not going to click on it because it might disrupt the video, but you can click and you can see this exhibit information
Wait, I'm still hungry there.
Sure. This. Sure, sure. Hey, I'll wait for you to come over here.
Yeah.
I'm right over here. You great. There you are. Okay. You see? Here, I'm gonna move over so you can see it. See the blue plaque?
Yeah.
Click on it or tap on it. It's gonna open up.
Wait, I need to dock myself.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm still like walking like a toddler in Voxels.
So this thing here,
Uh huh.
exhibit information, has what you were talking about. It
Oh
has the
wow.
information for all of the art pieces in this building. So in Diamond Gallery, in and also the pieces that are displayed in Voxel Living showroom downstairs.
Oh, this is beautifully done.
Thank you. And I also have the aerial view so people can see where it is.
That's amazing.
So I think it's interesting that we're literally on the same page. What it is when you're passionate about something and you realize there's gaps in information. You realize people are not spreading the information, they're not telling it in the right way. Like you said, they mash the artists together. It's just disrespectful and it's not good. This is promotion. This exhibit information. Yes, it looks handsome and I'm proud of it. It looks nice, but it's promotion. Anybody that clicks on this gets all the necessary information that they need in order to deep dive on any one of the artists that are at this building. And that's
Wow.
what I want. Because let's face it, Shakti, people are lazy. And if we don't walk them through, they're not going to go through the door. I'm just stating that either for laziness or maybe just lack of motivation, the
I,
artists,
I would actually call it, bombardment of too much information, and there
it's
are so
true.
many links coming at us from everywhere. It's literally impossible to be up to date with every piece of information
Right,
that we
right.
need.
So we have to make that concerted effort. That's what motivated me to do this. Because I thought, who's going to do this? It's my responsibility. It's not good enough that I just leave it there and let people click on the art. And then they'll just go to the art and no, I'm trying to sell the artists. I want them to go and look at the collection and to get to know the artist. And it's my little way of giving back. I want to point to the artist. Here's their Twitter. Here's their Linktree, maybe, you know?
Wow.
So I feel so glad that you said that because I could show you that that this is how to do it. Basically, I'm trying to tell folks if you're, a collector in the art space, in the NFT space, you really need to promote your artists. It's not enough to just kind of show off your collection.
Absolutely. And, while I wrote about glitch artists that were exhibiting at Sotheby's, I'm actually going to start reaching out to, more and more artists, more and more people, more and more voices that need to be heard, and put out, best to my abilities, and, dedicate like certain time of the week where I put out new content, where I promote the content. So, hey, this is your girl Shakti, making
Yes,
herself available to artists and to people and to voices. So come to me, talk to me, and hey, if you have something great coming up, let's publish it.
right. Right. That's awesome. I love that spirit. I think that Web3 really invites that type of go-getter attitude. There's so much you can do, and there's going to be more because Web3 is a place of relentless innovation.
Truly, truly.
Okay.
Let's do like a dance to, close this up.
Yes.
I think we have enough for like two good
Oh,
episodes.
sure, sure. Let's do it. So when in CryptoVoxels, you have to dance like a Voxland. So I'm gonna try my best here. As you can see, Shakti's getting down, and I'm actually gonna I I need some space. I'm gonna go over here, Shakti, if you want to join me. So this is my rooftop bar, and I just
Okay.
want to show the folks you got your choice of beverages. There's a few for sale, but that's not why I'm showing it. I'm just kind of showing off my skill here. Your boy's got skill. But let's get to some dance moves before we close out. So I actually planned that this would be a little dance area when I have
Wow.
events. Yeah.
Oh.
She fell down the rabbit hole. That's symbolic. Well, you know enough to come up. There we go. It happens. It happens. But you never get hurt.
I'm
Okay, so here we
figuring
go.
out
We're
how
gonna
to
do
get
some. We're
around.
gonna do some CryptoVoxels dancing. I always like the old school one, so I'm gonna do my old school. Here we go. Go ahead. Go ahead. And I love to punctuate it with a. Where is it? I can't see it. I love to punctuate with a backflip. Here we go.
Woo!
That's the one that. Here's the one. Anyway. Okay, so we're gonna close out. Thank you everyone for sharing time, for spending time here in the metaverse with me, with myself, and with the super talented, super passionate CyberShakti, who was recently exhibited, who, as you can see, has her head. Your head is actually in the gallery. Yeah, good. Super talented, who was just exhibited at Sotheby's Glitch exhibit. I hope that the greed of the top auction houses will just work for the betterment of the ecosystem and for artists, because after all, we're used to selling stuff for pennies, and now we're making thousands. And I'm not talking people money, but 4 digits is much better than two. Okay, so we're gonna close out. I'm gonna try to let me get closer to Cyber. Okay, I need Soul Train music, right?
Totally. Wait.
Okay, everyone, thanks for hanging out with us. This is Elated Pixel from the Voxels Metaverse with a very informative and alpha-ridden interview with the immensely talented the CyberShakti. So we're gonna sign out. Why don't you come on down? Why don't you? She's having fun. Maybe I'll just fly up to the guitar and we'll end up in the air.
I fell down.
Oh,
Wait.
you did? Where are you? Oh, there you are. See, flying is so much fun in CryptoVoxels.
Yep.
Okay,
And
so
I
I'm waiting
think
for you to
we
come here
can.
so we can sign out.
Yeah. And see, it's fun to be in crypto boxes, right? Like nobody's going to throw stones at you for not wearing any clothes.
Oh, I'm looking for you now.
I'm here back at the.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, there we are. Okay, folks, thank you, and until next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.